The sea itself was burning. Arab sailors screamed as flames erupted from the water around their ships. They jumped overboard to escape the fire. The water killed them faster. On April 25, 678 AD, the Byzantine Empire unleashed a weapon that defied everything humanity knew about fire. It burned on water. It stuck to human skin like napalm. No amount of water could extinguish it. The Arab fleet, 650 ships strong, was annihilated in hours. Only 5 vessels escaped. What the Byzantines deployed that day would dominate warfare for 800 years. Then it vanished. For 1,400 years, the formula has been lost. Modern chemists cannot recreate it. Military historians cannot explain it. The weapon was called Greek fire. And what made it disappear is more terrifying than what made it work. Because the Byzantines didn't lose the formula by accident. They destroyed it on purpose. In 673 AD, Constantinople was dying. The Arab Caliphate had conquered Syria, Egypt, and North Africa. Their fleet of 1,800 ships surrounded the Byzantine capital. Emperor Constantine IV had maybe 6 months before his empire fell. He turned to a Syrian refugee named Kallinikos. Kallinikos was a chemist from Heliopolis. He'd fled the Arab conquest with something valuable. A formula. He promised Constantine a weapon that would burn enemy ships to ash. The emperor had no choice but to believe him. Kallinikos worked in absolute secrecy. Only 3 other people knew the formula. All were sworn to silence under penalty of death. The lab was guarded by the Varangian Guard elite warriors who answered only to the emperor. No written records were kept. The formula existed only in the minds of 4 men. By 678 AD, Kallinikos was ready. The weapon was installed on Byzantine Dromans fast warships with reinforced bows. The delivery system was revolutionary. A bronze tube mounted on the ship's prow. A pump mechanism behind it. The liquid fire shot out in a pressurized stream. It could reach enemy ships 15 meters away. What they found next changed everything. When Greek fire hit water, it didn't extinguish. It intensified. The flames spread across the surface like a living thing. Arab sailors had never seen anything like it. Neither had anyone else in the world. The first combat test happened at Seleucus. 650 Arab warships faced 60 Byzantine Dromans. The Arabs had numerical superiority of almost 11 to 1. They expected an easy victory. They were catastrophically wrong. At dawn, the Byzantine ships formed a defensive line. The Arab fleet advanced in tight formation, standard naval tactics of the era. That formation became their death trap. At 200 meters, the Byzantine Dromans opened fire. Streams of liquid flame arced through the air. When the fire hit the first Arab ship, it exploded into flames instantly. The fire spread to the rigging. Then to the deck. Then to the sailors themselves. Men jumped into the sea. The water around the burning ship was now on fire too. They burned alive in the waves. Within 30 minutes, 12 Arab ships were destroyed. The rest tried to retreat. But here's what nobody noticed at the time. The fire couldn't be extinguished by any known method. Water made it worse. Sand had no effect. Sailors tried using vinegar, the standard fire suppressant of the era. The flames kept burning. Some ships burned for 3 full days. The Arab commander, Yazid, ordered a full withdrawal. Of 650 ships that entered the battle, only 5 returned to Syria. The Caliphate's naval power was broken. Constantinople was saved. But that was only the beginning. Because now every empire in the world wanted Greek fire. And the Byzantines would kill to keep it secret. The empire established the most brutal security protocols in history. Anyone who worked with Greek fire took an oath of silence. Breaking that oath meant execution. Not just for you. For your entire family. In 720 AD, a Byzantine engineer named Tiberios tried to sell the formula to the Umayyad Caliphate. He was caught before the exchange. The Byzantines didn't just execute him. They burned him alive. Using Greek fire. His wife and 2 children were thrown into the flames with him. The message was clear. This secret dies with us. For 526 years, Greek fire kept the Byzantine Empire alive. It won 34 major naval battles. It repelled 7 sieges of Constantinople. No enemy ever captured a working sample. Then, in 1204, everything changed. The Fourth Crusade, supposedly a Christian holy war, turned on Constantinople instead. Crusader armies breached the walls on April 12, 1204. The city burned for 3 days. Over 2,000 people were massacred. The Crusaders looted everything: gold, silver, religious relics. They searched desperately for one thing above all else: the Greek fire formula. They tore apart the imperial archives. They tortured Byzantine officials. They ransacked the naval arsenals. They found nothing. Because by 1204, the formula was already gone. Here's what historians discovered centuries later. The last confirmed use of Greek fire was in 1073 AD during a naval battle against the Normans. After that, total silence. No more references in military records. No more mentions in historical chronicles. The weapon simply disappeared from history. For decades, scholars believed the formula was destroyed during the 1204 sack. They were wrong. New evidence from the 1960s revealed the truth. In 1967, historian James Partington analyzed Byzantine tax records from 1050 to 1090 AD. He found something disturbing. Imperial funding for the Greek fire workshops dropped to zero in 1081 AD. Not reduced. Eliminated completely. The workshops were dismantled. The equipment was destroyed. The few remaining chemists who knew the formula were pensioned off into monasteries. Within 15 years, all of them were dead. The Byzantines deliberately erased their own superweapon. Why would an empire destroy its greatest advantage? The answer lies in what was happening inside Constantinople. By 1080 AD, the empire was collapsing from within. Civil wars erupted every decade. Generals overthrew emperors. Emperors assassinated generals. The imperial court realized something terrifying. If Greek fire fell into the hands of a rebel faction, Constantinople itself could burn. The weapon that saved the empire could now destroy it. So Emperor Alexios I Komnenos made a decision. He ordered the formula destroyed. Forever. No copies. No records. Just 4 men in a sealed room. They burned every document. They smashed every piece of equipment. Then they took a vow of silence. And they waited to die. Since 1204, over 100 serious attempts have been made to recreate Greek fire. Every single one has failed. In 1758, British chemist Peter Shaw tried using quicklime and sulfur. It burned, but water extinguished it immediately. In 1906, French military engineers tested petroleum mixed with phosphorus. It ignited on water but didn't stick to surfaces. In 2002, a team at MIT used modern chemical analysis on Byzantine shipwreck residue. They identified calcium, sulfur, and petroleum compounds. But the exact proportions? Unknown. The delivery mechanism? Still a mystery. Modern napalm is close. But it's not the same. Napalm doesn't intensify when exposed to water. Greek fire did. Some historians now believe the formula contained an ingredient that no longer exists. A compound lost to time. Others think the weapon was simpler than we imagine. That we're overthinking it. The truth is we may never know. The Byzantines succeeded in their mission. They took the secret to their graves. And in doing so, they proved something profound. Some knowledge is too dangerous to survive. Some weapons should stay lost. Because the same empire that used Greek fire to defend civilization also understood that civilization could be destroyed by it. In 1453, Constantinople finally fell to the Ottoman Turks. The city burned. But Greek fire was already 400 years gone. If a story like this kept you here, hit subscribe. A new mystery drops every week. And if Greek fire stayed lost for 1,400 years, what other ancient weapons are still out there waiting to be found? Subscribe for a new dark truth every day.